Welcome to Courtroom Explained, where we take a steady, process-focused look at how courts apply the law in emotionally charged cases. This content is for educational purposes only and not legal advice. Today's segment examines how criminal liability is evaluated when law enforcement response is questioned after a mass shooting. According to court records, public attention often focuses on whether officers should have acted differently. Courts, however, are tasked with a narrower question: whether any specific criminal statute was violated. One key legal fact is duty. In criminal law, liability usually requires a clearly defined legal duty to act. While police officers have professional responsibilities, courts distinguish between moral expectations and enforceable criminal obligations. A second important factor is intent. Criminal charges typically require proof that an officer knowingly or recklessly violated the law. Tactical errors, delayed decisions, or poor judgment do not automatically meet that standard. A third issue involves statutory limits. Criminal statutes are written narrowly. Prosecutors must connect specific conduct to specific legal elements, rather than relying on outcomes or hindsight. In many cases, courts conclude that while actions may be reviewed administratively or civilly, the evidence does not satisfy the burden required for criminal conviction. The legal lesson from this segment is that criminal courts focus on statutes and intent, not outcomes alone. How do you think courts should balance legal standards with public expectations in these cases? Subscribe for more insights into how the justice system works. Welcome to Courtroom Explained, where we clarify complex legal issues. This segment is for educational purposes only and does not provide legal advice. Today, we're exploring how criminal courts address officer conduct after tragic events, focusing on the legal standards that shape these decisions. Criminal courts don't ask whether officers should have acted differently. Their role is to determine if a specific criminal statute was violated, which requires proof of duty, intent, and sufficient evidence. Let's consider how different jurisdictions apply these standards. According to court records, prosecutions after mass shootings have produced different outcomes because state laws define criminal negligence, official misconduct, and duty-based offenses in unique ways. These definitions set the limits for possible charges. First, statutory framing is crucial. Sometimes prosecutors allege violations tied to post-incident duties like mandatory reporting, false statements, or obstruction. These charges focus on actions after the event, not on decisions made during the emergency. Second, evidentiary scope matters. Courts require prosecutors to directly link an officer's conduct to a criminal statute with admissible evidence. Public expectations or policy failures cannot replace statutory proof. Third, prosecutorial discretion is significant. Some cases proceed criminally, while others are addressed through civil lawsuits, administrative discipline, or reforms, depending on whether the law fits the facts. The result is that similar tragedies can lead to different legal outcomes. Criminal liability depends on jurisdiction, statutory language, and proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The key lesson: criminal courts are bound by law, not public opinion. Understanding these constraints is essential to making sense of verdicts. How should accountability be structured when criminal law cannot address certain conduct? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you value calm, factual legal commentary, consider subscribing to Courtroom Explained.